Liberty 5-3000, the golden one.
A person's ability to use and access free will.
By Tabitha, Hadley, Megan, and Tyler.
Throughout the book, Liberty uses her free will to make her own decisions and goes beyond her society's laws to start a new life free from the dystopian society.
But the following day, when we came to the road, they smiled. They smiled at us and for us. Even though Liberty is not allowed to favor one of her brothers over the others, she favors equality. She uses free will by going against the strict laws, by liking equality more than everyone else.
But Liberty 5-3000 saw it and understood. They raised their hand to their forehead and had moved it as we had. Thus each day, we greet Liberty and they answer, and no man can suspect. This relates back to our thesis about free will because Liberty works on her own to understand about how they don't speak to each other and instead only look with their eyes.
It is our second transgression of preference, for we do not think of all of our brothers as we must, but only of one, and their name is Liberty 5-3000. This shows free will by describing how it is wrong to think of only one person against the whole. Then the golden one rose and walked to the hedge as if they had heard a command in our eyes. Liberty was not allowed to go up to Equality because she was assigned to work in the field, and Equality's a street sweeper, but she went up to him anyway. Liberty used her own free will to walk up to him, disregarding how her society would feel about that.
Nor do we call you Equality 7-2521 when we think of you. The Unconquered. This shows free will because when the Golden One gives Equality the name Unconquered, it is his own name, so it relates to the topic free will. She is not allowed to give anyone their own name, especially not just one person, but she does it anyway.
We have given you the name in our thoughts, Liberty 5-3000. What is our name? They asked. The Golden One. Such thoughts of these are forbidden, Golden One. In this dialogue, they are thinking and talking by their own choice, and not with the communion with brethren.
Then they knelt by the moat. They gathered water in their two hands, they rose, and they held the water out to our lips. Liberty is using her free will by giving him water. They also touch, and this is not allowed in their society.
We have followed you, they said, and we shall follow you wherever you go. Liberty is making the decision to follow Equality on her own accord as an example of free will. Liberty has made the decision to do what she wants. This was the start of a journey to a new life of freedom that Liberty had created for herself.
We bent to raise the Golden One to their feet, but when we touched them, it was as if madness had stricken us. We seized their body and we pressed our lips against theirs. The Golden One breathed once, and then their breath was a moan, and their arms closed around us. Equality uses access to free will to kiss Liberty because they are now free from their society. They have access to their own free will and to do what they want. So part of this freedom, the Golden One chooses to kiss Equality, which she definitely would not allowed to do back at her strict society.
This is your house, Golden One, and ours, and it belongs to no other men, whatever as far as the earth may stretch. The act of claiming the house to themselves, then declaring that no other person has ownership over it, is an act of free will.
Your will be done. Liberty is using her free will to tell Equality that his will be done and that she will follow through with it. They then use their free will to go gather wood for a new home.
I love you. Liberty uses her access to free will by using I, a word not allowed in their society, to describe herself and how she loves equality. This sentence shows the growth in Liberty's access to free will. She has broken laws to make her own decisions before, but now she is able to speak as an individual with her own thought.
We are one, alone and only, and we love you who are one, alone, and only. Liberty is trying to tell Equality that she as an individual loves him, using her free will to talk as her own person and not as society. She, her own self, is deciding to make these decisions No one is forcing her to love equality. Her as herself just does. She's also going against the society she grew up in laws to tell him that she loves him.
It shall be my name, said the Golden One. Liberty uses her access to free will by using my to describe her new name, which is Gia, or the mother of a new kind of gods. This is a great example of individuality because our names are what makes us different.
Because of Liberty's use of free will, she helped herself and equality to escape their society and to discover a new life, a way of life with the access to free will.